I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you should consider the all-new electric Porsche Macan with 4 electric choices and 4 gas trims. I'm also going to throw in which one is the best deal. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and the front is going to not only look dynamic, but it gives that electrified look. And the clearance is at 7.3 to 8.9 inches because of the air suspension, with matrix design LED headlights, including the 4-point daytime running lights. Now this is a very sophisticated setup with 64,000 camera controlled pixels, and this adapts to all driving situations. And what's an EV without a frunk? With a storage pocket in the top, and it's a pretty deep storage pocket here to fit a carry-on for a quick weekend getaway. And the 4 electric will have a max of 402 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque with a total range of 308 miles. Reaching 60 at 4.9 seconds and a quarter mile at 13.5 seconds. And the best value for the Macan Electric is the 4S Electric. It's around 6K more than what we're showcasing. Drops the 0 to 60 to 3.9 seconds. Over 500 horsepower. Quarter mile is going to be quicker, but it's going to be about a second less than the Turbo Electric. But that variant just doesn't make sense because it's over 21K more than what we're telling you, and making it nearly 30K more than this, and their 0 to 60 is only 0.7 seconds quicker. I mean, let me know your thoughts on that. We have these upgraded 22-inch wheels. It's a staggered wheel setup with a quick charge all the way down to 21 minutes, but that would be on a 800-volt charger. Otherwise, it's around 33 minutes and 9.5 hours for a full charge on a level 2 with a 100 kilowatt lithium-ion battery pack. With the payload up to 1,190 pounds, towing at 4,409 pounds, and curb weight around 5,200 pounds. So the motivation is there, the everyday use is there, and practicality, I mean, you can get pretty quick chargings if you can find that 800-volt charging port. Standard LED taillight, and I like how the rear is integrated because it looks like a mini Lamborghini Urus in the rear. Blacked out badging, the lower keeps that aggressive style, front and rear parking sensors with the 360-degree reverse camera. And the nice thing about Porsche is you can make this as unique as you want it because they give you a lot of different choices and options per trim. The first reason why you may want to consider the Porsche Macan Electric is because you're still getting the performance, but it's going to be electrified. Power liftgate going into 17 cubic feet of storage. You have a little nook here with a 12-volt LED interior lights with another storage pocket, and this is nice because you can put bottles so they don't roll around anywhere underneath the floor. Has a little bit of storage, and you can also raise and lower the suspension in the rear, making it a lot more easy to go inside for cargo capacity. And split fold the rear bench at a 40-20-40 split or a 60-40 split, maxing cargo to 45.5 cubic feet. The key fob for the new Macan Electric. 14-way power seat adjustment for the driver and passenger, heated and ventilated seats. And a cool feature, you can extend these outwards like this with the Porsche logo. Memory for the driver and passenger. The interior is going to be more of a tech-savvy layout design with a push-button start. Let's fire it up. The 10.9 touchscreen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. The home link is built in to the infotainment screen as well, and you can change the theme design, and it'll also show you all of your charging configurations here. And the driver mode select, which you could just click right there. You could change the driving mode to your off-road normal sport. You can also change the chassis, the level, because it's an air suspension, and an optional 10.9 touchscreen. Similar content, but you can also stream videos, which the driver will not be able to see. Switch it into reverse, and we have a 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory. What I like about Porsche is when you are turning, the actual camera will turn with you, so it makes it a little bit easier there. You have different camera layouts to make it a little bit more easier as well. It just, my fingers are a little too fat, I guess, to push the buttons. And you can also use this for kind of like a car wash for you, so that way you don't scratch these upgraded wheels. With a curved 12.6 digital gauge reader that can go through an array of different content for the driver, including the full navigation. You can also change out these little icons here on the side. You can add different screen layouts on either of the sides. The leather wrap steering wheel, multi-function, and the driver mode select is right here. So it's actually a lot easier because everything is within the driver's reach, meaning the gear lever, they put it right here, the push button start, which is a first for Porsche, and they clean up this center cluster here. And the second reason why you may want to consider the Porsche Macan Electric is because of how tech savvy this vehicle is, including options like giving a 10.9 touchscreen for the passenger side that you can stream videos with a touchpad, and also a touchpad up here with dual climate control settings, wireless charging pad, and down here we'll have your cup holders with a large little pass-through and a 12-volt for the passenger. Leg space is not going to be a problem. It's not really a driver-focused setup, it's only on the cockpit side. So it makes it a little bit more accessible for a family and still keeping that fun to drive. Door panel dashboard configuring together nicely. I like the contrast stitch. I wish they would have carried on here instead of putting the harder materials. You get the gloss black ambient lighting, satin aluminum. One touch up and down for the windows and to open the front and the trunk. It's going to be more sporty with a long storage pocket and Bose upgraded sound system. For the back seat, that's the opening that you have to fit 2 more with the cup holders and armrests folded down. Otherwise, 3 can fit. Dual climate control settings is in the rear. Heated rear seats, air vent, storage beyond both of the front seats. Leg space, as you're noticing, it's not too bad. I can fit back here. And headroom, it's still okay for the size of this vehicle. Door panel is going to have the ambient lighting. You get the gloss black, satin aluminum, still sporty to touch, and maybe 1 beverage holder in the lower. Now sliding into the center, this is the hard area for me. The rails are pushed up enough, the floor is almost flat, but you will be sharing some feet, butt, leg, and shoulder space. This is really just for a quick drive, or if you need to fit somebody. At 6'3", you actually have more space in the center with the long panel moonroof. The Porsche Macan 4 Electric. It's going to be quiet, 382 horsepower, and when you really get on it, up to 402 horsepower with 479 pound-feet of torque to back it. Total range of 308 miles. I'm liking some of the specs that's coming in. 0 to 60, 4.9 seconds. That's not bad for a vehicle that's under 80 grand. And a quarter mile at 13.5 seconds. So this is a pretty fast vehicle for the size of it, being 5,247 pounds curb weight. And I like how quiet the ride is. I mean, they did a great job with the sound deadening. We're going to engage it into sport mode so that way we can really see the performance, because with an electric vehicle, what you're getting is something instant. You don't have to worry about lag. Check it out. It just takes off. Wow. It's quick. Getting up on the interstate, already gonna get a speeding ticket. 22-inch wheels. The ride is composed. Maneuverability purposes, the steering is light. Bose upgraded sound system. Tech is where it's at, and that's what you're getting when you go electric Macan. It's gonna take me to some pros and cons. Starting off with the pros, the specs that come out of it is great. The drive to it is fun and pleasurable. Charging isn't bad, it's pretty much right on par. Pricing, it's okay. I mean, it's under 80 grand, but when you want features, this one that we're showcasing, nearly 100 grand. It actually almost outclasses the vehicle once you start adding all of the tech. But in the same category, this is happening with every single vehicle. And when you go electric, you're gonna usually pay at least $10,000 to $15,000 more than you would for a gas variant version. I like that we still have options so you can get the gas variant as well. Some cons, they do have a lot of hard aesthetics. They don't polish it off in the door panels with the contrast stitching. I'm not a huge fan of all that plastic that's on the steering wheel and the steering column and even in the center cluster. The touchpad for the climate control is cool, but it literally pushes in and pushes out. The same thing when you're opening up the privacy cover for the panel moonroof, it literally goes in and out. I do like that you can option a 10.9-inch screen for the passenger. Got it back in Sport Plus. There we go. It's quick, pushes you back because there's a ton of torque. Getting back on the interstate so you can see that performance, man. And like I was saying on the exterior, the best variant if you're going full electric is the 4S electric. You're gonna lose 20-mile range, but you're going to increase that 0 to 60 down by over a second. And it's only around $6,000 more than this. The same thing with the quarter mile, you're gonna drop another second. So it just doesn't make sense. If you're already wanting to load features, you may wanna consider that, which to me can be the big problem with the Porsche Macan Electric. You want the features, but every time you tick the box for these features, it almost puts you in a different class for the vehicle. And at the same aspect, you still have the GTS Macan, which is awesome. And you have a ton of power with that vehicle. And then you don't have to worry about charging times. Let me know your thoughts on that. As for competition, Mercedes and even Audi, they make great vehicles as well. The range and the charging times are right around the same. There's not a huge difference there. But the pro here is you can charge up to 800 volts when you are getting the Macan Electric, if you can find those charging stations, because there's not necessarily a lot of them around. For a day in and day out, it is definitely a delight to drive because it's soft in the interior. You still have all that sport essence of Porsche, so they keep it alive. When you turn it into normal drive, the suspension's gonna be a little bit more soft, but I find myself probably driving this more in Sport or Sport Plus almost all the time. Cargo capacity, payload, and towing, all in an electric vehicle, is getting a little bit more usable as well. And as for competition, Mercedes and Audi, charging and range is gonna be around the same, really. There's not a huge difference. Interior comfort, I feel like Porsche has stepped up their game quite a bit because it still feels agile, yet composed, with 22-inch wheels that I have to remind you about. Because when you go into Mercedes, you increase the wheel size, you start feeling a lot of the imperfections in the road. But it's gonna be more luxurious and it takes a little bit away from that sports style. For me, the competition lies with the Macan GTS because you're getting a 0 to 60 as low as 4.1 seconds, quarter mile at 12.9 or 12.7 if you put the chrono package, and you're gonna get a savings opposed to going electric. And that takes me to the last reason why you may wanna consider the Porsche Macan Electric is because you're still getting the Porsche drive with the near 50-50 weight distribution and the performance all blended in, but it's electrified. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank Porsche of Clearwater for giving us this 2024 Porsche Macan 4 Electric for our car review.